Start off Broncos-Colts last night. The Colts take it. Give them all the credit here. 39-33 at home in Lucas Oil Stadium. Peyton's return. Beautiful pregame ceremony. They also honored Marvin Harrison and Edgerrin James, that Super Bowl team. Beautiful pregame. But Peyton did not play well last night. He played, no, let's clarify that. He played well. But he didn't play like the Peyton we've been seeing. We've been seeing this superhuman quarterback. This, I'm going to show you that we're going to beat you here in your home quarterback. He wasn't that last night. His numbers would say he was that last night, but he wasn't. His number is 29-49, 386, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. He was sacked 4 times. Lost 21 yards. Truthfully, he didn't have it last night. He was overthrowing receivers. He was throwing bad lob passes, awful lob passes that should have been picked off at least 3 times. I saw plays that should have been taken, that he should have gone to the other side of the field. But Peyton just didn't look like the Peyton that we've been seeing now. And you have to wonder how indicative it is that in another big game for Peyton, he doesn't take it. Now, this wasn't a playoff game by any stretch of the imagination. You still have to wonder, though, can he come up when it really matters? He only has 1 ring. We say that, but for a quarterback that has this much talent and looks this good typically, you have to wonder. You really do. And I gotta give credit to the defense, to be fair, because they played fantastically for a large part of this. For a large part of this game, a special credit to Darius Butler for straight up shutting down. He straight up just shut down the Wes Welker on that play. Just no questions asked. He didn't let him get anything at any time for the most part until garbage time. But Payne really, he hit Decker a few times. Decker's total numbers yesterday were very impressive. 8 catches, 150 yards, 1 touchdown. His longest 49-yarder. He had 13 targets on the game. Marius Thomas, they needed to put an APB out on him until late in the 4th quarter. Because I didn't know where he was. My fantasy team needed him, and he did come up in the clutch. I'll give him credit for that. But Peyton looked weak. He did. He looked vulnerable. And a big part of it is that offensive line. That line has been god-awful. Ever since, it's only been a week or so. But Ryan Clady goes out first, the left tackle. Then Orlando Scandrick goes out with an injury. It hasn't looked great, to be honest. The Robert Mathis got to him when he pleased. Francois, his name is Jean Francois, Ricky Jean Francois from the Niners, got to him whenever he felt like it, and the defense played fantastic. The Colts defense played fantastic. I'm not taking anything away from them, but the Broncos did not have it all. They didn't. They just didn't. Then on the other side, though, Andrew Luck, he had that one play, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But otherwise, played a marvelous game. Marvelous. Could not praise him enough here. 21 of 38, 228, 3 touchdowns, no picks, 2 sacks, 6 times. He didn't make mistakes. The number one thing I've said about quarterbacks, I've said it 100 times, this will make it 101. He doesn't make mistakes. He didn't do it yesterday. Someone who did make a mistake, Trent Richardson. He's killing me right now. I vouch. He's on my fantasy team. I love the pickup for the Colts. I'm excited. He's just killing me. 14 carries, 37 yards, and a fumble that he lost, which got him benched for a little while. But Trent Richardson's played god awful, and I don't know. He's on a new team, but the excuse is over now for him. It is. The excuse is done. Trent Richardson needs to pick it up. He looks like a linebacker playing running back. He has no speed. He can just push ahead for a few yards and then go down. He can only carry service for 8 yards. This is inexcusable for Trent Richardson to not be able to get more than what he has. Donald Brown, the other running back, 11 carries, 23 yards. So it's not like they actually have a better option at running back. It's Trent Richardson's job if he can actually get it. Problem is he can't get it. He can't find the holes. He can't. And the Colts' offensive line is nothing to write home about either. Keep in mind, they let up a lot of pressure yesterday too. But that's no excuse. No excuse. Trent Richardson's played god awful. He needs to pick it up massively if he wants his any chance in reality of making a run here. As far as the receiving core, let's start off with the very sad news. Very, very sad. Reggie Wayne is done for the year. Torn ACL. It looked like it when the play happened. It looked bad. He's done for the year. It's really a shame. He was crying on the bench, punching it. He was angry. And in front of his old guys, even worse. In front of Peyton, in front of Marvin Harrison, and James. It was just really sad to watch yesterday. The receiving core now will consist of Darius Hayward-Bay, T.Y. Hilton, and Coby Fleener. Giving you the numbers for the Indianapolis receiving core yesterday: Reggie Wayne, 5 catches, 50 yards. Darius Hayward-Bay, 4 catches, 44 yards. Donald Brown, 3 catches, 42 yards. Coby Fleener, 5 catches, 38 yards. And T.Y. Hilton had 2 for 27, and then Havili had 1 for 28, touchdown. This Colts team, with this defense, which played fantastic yesterday. LaRon Landry comes back from injury, went ridiculous. He was a hard-hitting guy in this team. Yesterday was Pat McAfee, the punter, knocking out Trenton Holiday yesterday with a vicious hit. If you haven't seen it, go to Deadspin. It's on. It's probably on most sites. Beautiful hit. You look at the rest of this team. Antoine Bethea is back from the dead. Pat Anger played well. Darius Butler, Robert Mathis, Vontae Davis, Corey Vaughn. The list goes on and on. Ricky Jean-Francois. This defense is terrifying right now. And this Reggie Wayne injury is going to hurt. It's going to sting badly. They're going to need another receiver. But Trent Richardson can learn how to run. He needs to lose some weight. He can learn how to run. The Colts are now a prime target for Hakeem Nicks. I'll put it like that. If the Colts land Hakeem Nicks, this is beyond a playoff team. This is possibly. I'm cautious to say this. I'm very cautious to say this, but I love that defense, what they're doing right now, that much, and I love Andrew Luck that much. This team has a chance. It's not a high chance, but it's a chance going to the Super Bowl. And of those two teams that played last night, who would have thought that would be the team that I would mention going to the Super Bowl? I honestly, and you look yesterday, Denver looked very human on all sides of the ball. The defense didn't play great. Von Miller coming back didn't do much. Knowshon Moreno, 15 carries for 40 yards. You just did not have it yesterday. I don't trust Broncos in the playoffs here. I don't at all. It's only one game, but these big game situations, they crumble like cookies. And it's getting pretty scary, and I don't like what I'm seeing here right now. Moving on from this game, let's go on to Dallas yesterday, taking down Philadelphia at the Link. And you'd think going into this game, you saw the Broncos light up the Cowboys. You saw the Eagles, put up all their points. You would think this is going to be a 40-38 game, something crazy number. Final score was 17-3. Score was 3-0 at halftime. And was that indicative of how good the defenses are? Absolutely not. It's indicative of how bad the offenses were yesterday. Nick Foles was an abomination out there. 11-29, 80 yards, 3 sacks. That was before he left with a head injury. Matt Barkley came in and looked even worse. 11 for 20, 129 yards, 3 picks. LaShawn McCoy got stuffed for the most part, 18 catches, 55 yards. Riley Cooper, shout out to Incarcerated Bob right now. I'm giving him full credit for this one. He predicted Riley Cooper's your fantasy sneak of the week. 6 catches, 88 yards. He knows what he's talking about there. Sean Jackson was held to 3 catches, 21 yards. Sean McCoy, 6 catches, 26 yards. Zach Ertz, 3 catches, 33 yards. The defense, they're the Eagles' defense. They didn't play anything spectacular. This is indicative of how bad these offenses were. Now, granted, Dallas was missing DeMarco Murray, and they had Joseph Randle as their running back, who carried the ball 19 times, 65 yards, no touchdowns. In fact, Philip Tanner stole his touchdown, the 1-yard run. But the offenses here were just god-awful. Tony Romo could not find anything when he needed to. 28-47, 317, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Des Bryant, Terrence Williams, and Corey Beasley all coming up big when they needed to. Dallas won this game. It's not a question. They played nicely, but they, against most teams, are going to lose this game. You can't play like this, just this utter ignorance. There's no better word for it. Utter ignorance on offense and win. They're just lucky that they played the Eagles, who are now 0-3 at home, if you can believe it. They're 3-1 on the road, 0-3 at home. That is fascinating to me. And the Eagles have a good assignment next week when they get to go play the Giants. That's going to be a game for them to feast on. If they ever had a comeback game in them, there it is. Moving on to one more game, RG3's back. I don't know if he's 100%, but this is I can call him RG3 and not Robert Griffin III. His numbers yesterday were absolutely reminiscent of what we're used to seeing from RG3. His numbers, 18-29, 298, 2 touchdowns. He threw a pick, but still, rushing numbers, he ran the ball 11 times, 84 yards. That is what they need to do. RG3 needs to run. This isn't anything revolutionary. RG3 needs to learn how to run the football. He knew how to do it. That's it. Jay Cutler went out very early in this game. He's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. Josh McCown came in and played okay, actually. 14-20, 204, 1 touchdown, no picks. Alfred Morris yesterday in the run game, 19 carries, 95 yards, no touchdowns. Roy Halous just stole everything. Fantasy owners should be infuriated. 11 runs, 41 yards, 3 touchdowns. I have no words other than infuriation if I owned Alfred Morris. Luckily, I don't there. But I own Trent Richardson, so who am I talking? And Doug Martin. Matt Forte, 16 runs, 91 yards, 3 touchdowns. Very, very underrated in the year of the disappointing running back. Matt Forte has shined this year. He has been fantastic. I love what I'm seeing out of him. He's making his cuts. He's getting up the middle. Matt Forte has been one of the better running backs by far this year. Receiving wise, Brandon Marshall led the team in receptions, 6 receptions, 75 yards. Alshon Jeffrey, 4 receptions, 105 yards. Martellus Bennett only had 1 catch and for a touchdown. Jordan Reed, tight end, playing for Fred Davis, who was out. 9 catches, 134 yards, and a touchdown. I'd love to see that. Pierre Garcon, 5 catches, 58 yards. Aldrick Robertson, 2 catches, 75 yards. Final score in this game was 45-41. Redskins take it. The Redskins, if they want to get back in, they need to win this game. Luckily, they did. Other injury notes, just from around, just quick notes in general. KC wins yesterday, 17-16. They moved to 7-0, the only undefeated team. Fantastic story out there. Injury-wise, Sam Bradford torn ACL. He's done for the year. And Doug Martin looks like he's also going to be done for the year. And a very, very sad story coming in recently. The passing of legendary Tennessee Titans owner Bud Adams. R.I.P. to Bud Adams. Very sad story. He passes away at the age of 90. When we come back, we'll have Jeremy Tuck on, our newest NHL beat reporter. We're going to talk some NHL. We'll also get into some MLB playoffs. We'll be on until 3 o'clock today. Right now, I'm going to throw on new artist out of Chicago. He's part of the whole Chief Keef movement, but he actually sounds okay, as opposed to Chief Keef. Here's Lil Durk with Bang Bros.